Welcome to Family Features, a podcast for anyone who wants to experience healthy relationships within their family. This is Dr. Corey Gilbert, and I'm honored to come alongside you to encourage, educate, and equip you as we focus on the different relationships that make us family. Let's get started and focus on today's feature. Hey there, it's Dr. Corey Gilbert with the Family Features podcast. I'm here with my daughter Mylie.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about another lie in the Lies Girls Believe. And the truth
that sets them free.
That sets them free by Dana Gresh. Yes, so we are going to look at truth number 4 here. God chose you. Yeah.
Just both of us and all of you guys.
Exactly. That's right. So you are the work of the master artist God. Mm-hmm. So what's a takeaway? What's something you learned from this about yourself? You mentioned it to me about this right here.
Well, I've also noticed that I don't really believe any of those lies.
Okay, well tell them what those are.
Like I'm not smart enough, I'm not fast enough. Like I'm not that fast. But I don't really care.
You're not worried about it.
Yeah.
Good. And then you wrote a fill in the blank one. You said I'm not
tall enough.
Tall enough.
I may not believe that, but I know some people definitely will.
Yeah. And you're kind of short.
Yeah.
And you're okay with that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because also it makes it so I don't have to put away a few of the dishes because they're too high.
Yeah, some of the dishes are high and you get out of that. That's true.
Some of the other ones are I'm not strong enough and I am not funny enough.
Right.
I know someone who doesn't have to worry about that.
Who?
Blaze.
Blaze, yep. But then here's it. My thoughts about it grew into a big fat lie. And what's the lie?
I'm not good enough.
Right. So it's all these little ones lead into a much bigger one, which is I'm not good enough, which is really scary.
Luckily, I don't think I believe that lie.
Good. And that's one of the things about this book is it's to help talk you through and even talk with Mom or even doing this with me of helping you think about these things where you realized, I see these, but that's not me. But it might be one day. You might find yourself in a few years really, really worrying about, am I really smart enough? Or am I really, like one of these becomes a really important one.
Mom always says I do really good in my math and stuff, so.
You are smart. It's hilarious. But okay, so maybe you're not tall enough. There you go.
No.
Because you can't fix that.
I will soon when I go taller.
You might not grow very tall.
So.
Exactly.
It also gets me out of a few things.
That's awesome. So the truth nugget, though. What is the truth nugget? Ephesians 1:4.
Even before he made the world, God loved us and chose us in Christ to be holy and without fault in his eyes.
So even before he made the world.
So even before he even created us, he knew there'd be no fault.
In his eyes. Yeah. We have fault. Mm-hmm. But where does that fault go?
To the death and rising of Christ.
Exactly. I love it. Exactly. That's where it goes. Yep. So he paid for the cost. So he sees us with no fault in his eyes, which is that we need to sit there and just rest for a minute and go, wow, that's huge, right? Mm-hmm. Really, really important. You're not good enough. That's a lie from Satan. We need to be very careful that we're not sucked into believing that and thinking that way. Can you think of other areas where it's easy to think things or to lose sight that God chose you? Other times that you're frustrated or mad or... Can you think of any?
Probably like when I get angry at Blaze.
Mm-hmm. And those moments when I'm kind of just emotional. It's a normal response. And we definitely aren't thinking, God chose me, I'm God's chosen. We're focused on our emotion. So it's being able to have that moment where we kind of go, wait a minute. Is this really that big a deal? Or is this really something I can control? Because you can't control Blaze.
But I can control myself.
Yes.
In a way. Sometimes I can't.
No, you choose not to. We all choose not to. We surrender to that emotion. We have to be careful with that. All of us. No exceptions. We have to be really careful. God has a whole different paradigm, which is beautiful. Yeah. So he's that example, which is great. And so here, this last part says, start
listening and believing to God's opinion about you. He knows the truth. And the truth is God chose you, and He chose you every time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, He chose all of us.
Yes, start listening to and believing God's opinion. We've got to remember that, especially in the hard times.
Because God's opinion is the best opinion.
Exactly. And part of our superpower then as humans is to be able to hear someone else give us a negative opinion, or Satan tell us, oh, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough, you're not good enough. And us to look at that and go, you're funny. No. So important. That's why that's important, right? That's the message we want them to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids and all the parents, right?
Yeah.
So important. So important. So are you good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Because?
Well, God chose me.
That's right. That's exactly
He chose
right.
you and all you and everyone.
Yeah, that's important. So important. God chose you. God chose me. Make it personal. Yes. All right. This is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Good one for them.
Bye.
See you next time. Thank you for tuning in to the Family Features Podcast. It has been an honor to serve. Find out more about Dr. Gilbert and his resources for you and your family's growth and success at healinglives.com. And if you think you could use some support along the way, be sure to book that call at bookdrg.com. And one more thing, if you found this helpful, please share this podcast with others so that we can change the world together.